friends, this is Dr. Diane from the Shenandoah Valley Discovery Museum. We are going to have a pasta party here in the science kitchen. We're going to do a little dancing. We're going to make our pasta dance. So what you need for this experiment is you need to have a cup of water. You need to have some uncooked spaghetti. You need to have some pre-measured baking soda. And you need to have some vinegar. All right, so we have our water. We're going to go ahead and add our 2 teaspoons of baking soda in. And we want to make sure that we're stirring and stirring so that that is completely dissolved. And once it dissolves, we're going to add some pasta. See all the ridges on it? I'm going to add some in. And what happens? Are they floating or are they sinking? They're sinking, right? And they're sinking because the noodles themselves are denser than the water that surrounds them. So the water is not, they're not displacing enough water to be lifted back to the surface. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some vinegar to the water and watch what happens when we do that. As you look, you can see the noodles rising to the top. They're dancing. So what's happening is the carbon dioxide is attaching itself to the noodles, causing them to dance. It's acting like a little life preserver. It's making them less dense than the water without changing their mass. And so they're rising up. And when they get to the top, the carbon dioxide bubbles pop and the noodles sink back down to the bottom.
So friends, I think today's lesson is that mistakes get made and that's okay because science is messy. So stuff happens, it's okay. Sometimes things don't work out. It's all experimental. Go have fun, bye.
So what happened in our experiment? We had some trial and error, which is okay. That's part of what kitchen science is all about. But the basic idea is we're looking at Archimedes Principle. And what we're looking at particularly is the way the noodles behave. So the noodles they're more dense than the water, so typically they're gonna lay at the bottom. They're gonna sink to the bottom. But when we add the carbon dioxide sort of serves as a life jacket that lifts and holds the noodle and helps it to rise and to dance. And when the air bubbles that have attached to the noodle pop, then the noodle is going to sink back down because, again, it's more dense than the water. So that's what happened in our science. You can take it and you can try other things. Feel free to experiment with the amount of vinegar and the amount of water you're adding. Experiment with how much baking soda you're adding. You can also experiment with who your dancing kings and queens are. Maybe you use beans or raisins. Does it work better with cooked or uncooked pasta? Those are variables that you can experiment with as you do this at home.